I wanted to talk about Conor McGregor at the Donald Trump inauguration. For those of us that have been following Conor McGregor since, 2013 or longer, this is crazy. Seeing who Conor is now, I've seen comments asking the question, what would younger Conor think of today's Conor? And I've seen answers like he'd be embarrassed and, things like that. Um, and I've seen others that are more understanding and saying, hey, you know, this is the life that comes with absorbent amounts of money. And if you want to chase down that, you know, he would have understood. But I don't think he would have. I think if you would have told him, okay, if you chase money with Floyd versus if you stay in the UFC, what's going to happen? Yeah, you're not going to make nearly as much money. But, or even if you could take the Floyd fight, but then after you jump right into Habib, it's just ridiculous, right? 2 years off from the sport, you're jumping in against the best guy. Take a tune-up fight for sure, right? You would think. But he didn't. So if you put these two propositions down on the table, I'm pretty sure he's not taking the one where he ends up like this. You know what I mean? You could take the Floyd fight, get paid, and then you could take a fight against Ally Quinta. You know what I mean? You could take a fight against Ally Quinta on your return bout, knock him unconscious, and just keep the train rolling. You do not have to go straight in against the guy, the most feared guy in the sport, in Habib. You don't have to do that. I think the best move would have been never fighting Floyd, however. I think the best move would have been Conor McGregor, Eddie Alvarez fight, straight in, because he was untouched in that fight. He could have went like 2 months later. Like whenever you just wanted to create an event, they could have done that. They should have done Conor versus Nate Diaz 3. Biggest pay-per-view ever it would have been, and it would have been, the trilogy. Finally some closure, and who's going to move on, whatever. Huge star it would have created of Conor. He would have beat Nate Diaz most likely, and then he could have, I don't know, fought Tony Ferguson maybe instead of Habib. Listen, Habib is happening no matter what, okay? We're running into Habib here. But if you are going to be the conductor of the Conor McGregor hype train and promotional just magnet that he was, money printing machine that he was, right? Conor Mania is a very real thing. Red Panty Night was a very real thing and still is. Conor McGregor at that time was insanely huge. He was literally becoming an icon of combat sports and mixed martial arts like Bruce Lee. When he was up there against Floyd talking about Bruce Lee shit, yeah? When he's doing that, you have to think if he knocks out Floyd, he would have been a megastar, right? But, you know, talk about a 40 leg parlay there, right? Talk about just I'm chucking one and I'm going to hope that it goes in. Because that was a long shot, him beating Floyd. And the crazy thing is that Conor made a lot of people believe enough to pay $100 for that fight. You know what I mean? That was a huge fight, and it did a lot on pay-per-view. There's, second biggest fight of all time behind Pacquiao Floyd. You got to give Conor credit for the amount of business he was able to do and generate. However, for his mixed martial arts career, there is no reason why Dustin Poirier was able to circle back and surpass you. I'm sorry. But Conor McGregor in 2016, fresh off Eddie Alvarez, 100% is beating the 2016 version of Dustin Poirier that was fighting, Eddie Alvarez. Look at how they fought. Eddie Alvarez and Dustin had a war. They had back and forth wars, okay? When they fought, the 2 times they fought, okay? Conor goes in there against both of them at that time, smokes them, 1 round and 2 rounds. Conor was ahead of the game. But when you step away from the game and you go and fight Floyd in a completely different sport, and that takes a year. He beat Eddie in 2016, November, UFC 205, Madison Square Garden. He goes on to fight Floyd August 27th, I believe. maybe August, I think August 27th, later in 2017. So that's 1 year away from the sport. Then he comes back and fights Habib from August 17th, 2017 to October 18th of 2018. That's a long time. That's 2 years outside of the cage. That's 2 years not under the lights. And then when you step back into the lights, right? Now it's spotlights on you again. Home sweet home, as he was saying. Home sweet home. You know what I mean? Give me a couple reps on that Conor accent, and I'll dig it back up. You know, it's been a while since I had to use the Conor accent, but it can get dug up real quick. So, I don't know, man. Seeing him now like this, at the inauguration, rubbing up with people who he always said, like, I know you guys remember, for those of you that are watching this clip that are, you know, long time Conor McGregor fans, long time supporters, long time haters, you will, if you followed his career from the beginning, you will know that he has interviews saying, I don't care about parties. Partying is weakness for the soul. You know what I mean? It's weakness for the soul. Yeah, weakness for the soul. And Conor chose that. He chose that life. He chose the life of partying. He chose the life of VMA awards. He chose the life of Lamborghini yachts. He chose the life outside of the gym. That's what he chose. And this is what that produces. If you want to produce the Conor McGregor we saw before, we have to see the Conor McGregor that's constantly in the gym. He was a gym rat when he was chasing those dreams. But once he got it, you're not a gym rat when you're outside the gym. Now you're just a rat, you know? Now you're a drug rat, you know? You're a drug rat. You're an alcohol rat. You're a Lambo yacht rat. You know what I'm saying? You're the things that you do in life. Me, I'm a Marvel Rivals rat. You know, I play Marvel Rivals a lot. I got videos on my page. If you like that game, check them out, etc., etc. Whatever you do in life, that's what you are. It's not just a gym rat, right? At the end of the day, we're all lab rats and things like that, right? Blue 40, or like all this stuff that they're putting in the foods. Apparently, they got rid of them. But who knows what else they're gonna fucking find to do to undercut it, and how could we get them another way, you know? Who knows? But overall, big picture point here. If you were watching Conor McGregor back then, seeing where he's at now, it really makes you think, man. It really makes you think.